I had so much fun painting the painting on the right hand side using a combination of different mixed media like oil pastels, watercolor crayons, and I loved it so much that I decided to try to paint a similar painting but mainly with just watercolors. So in today's video I'm going to show you how I painted the one with mainly watercolors. So I started by wetting the top section of the paper, and the first color that I applied was a very watered down version of Composed Green by Holbein. And then I took the excess water off my brush. I used a smaller round Chinese calligraphy brush, and I used really expressive and abstract brush strokes to paint the first layer for the shadow parts of the clouds. And then I cleaned my brush and I used a very watered down version of Naples yellow at the bottom part of the horizon so that it looks like some kind of a warm light is coming from the background. And now I really took the excess water off my brush because I wanted my brush strokes to be visible. I didn't want them to be blend and soften too much with the wet background colors. And I used pure cobalt blue to paint the last layer of the shadow parts of the clouds. And while the paper was still damp, I used a very cool and desaturated green. This is a mixture of the same composed green, and I also added some Cascade Green by Daniel Smith to kind of vary my colors and make that area slightly more interesting and less flat, because if I just use one color, that area can look really boring and flat. So that's why I try to add a slightly darker green by adding Cascade Green, and I also added a few touches of Lunar Blue to darken that color a little bit more. And as you can see, I switched to my flat brush to paint the cliffs because I feel like a flat brush is just made for painting cliffs and rocks and anything in that nature, and it somehow creates the most interesting shapes without you even drawing. So I always try to use a flat brush when I'm painting cliffs or rocks or anything that has like a rough, very solid kind of a shape. And the farthest mountain is basically semi-dry now, so I splattered clean water to create intentional blooms, and I feel like that's really suitable for like a foggy and misty landscape to create those tiny blooms. And now let's move on to painting the water. So I started by randomly wetting the bottom section of the paper, and I'm just adding some of the same colors that I already had, like that composed green. And I'm also varying my colors by adding a little bit of viridian green, some cobalt teal, and a little bit of lilac. I feel like my mixed media paintings look so interesting just because I use a variety of so many different colors, and I usually don't do that with my pure watercolors. So I really wanted to like experiment and see what happens if I use lots of different colors. As a general rule, if you use fewer colors, like for example only 2 or 3 colors for your paintings, you can create a feeling of really peaceful and calm feeling for your paintings. And if you use more colors, it can bring more excitement to the painting, but you need to be very careful with using more colors because it can kind of create a sense of chaos and too much busyness in the painting. So even though I'm using a variety of different colors, most of these colors are very desaturated and very soft pastel looking colors, like that composed green that I used for the farthest part of the water. You can see how light and watered down and soft that color is, and the Naples yellow that I use is also a desaturated and soft yellow compared to like a cadmium yellow or a super vibrant yellow. And as I'm coming closer to the foreground and the area of the water that's closer to us, I'm using darker, a slightly more saturated color like pure cobalt blue, and I'm keeping in mind to balance out using watered down and light value colors with some darker and more pigmented colors. Sometimes when we see like an expressive or kind of an abstract landscape or seascape painting, we get distracted by all the beautiful mark makings and brush strokes and different colors, texture effects, and we forget how important it is to really focus on the tonal value. Like for example, for this painting, I used a very lighter and cooler color to paint the mountain in the far back, and also the cliffs that is farthest, the one that has the lighthouse on it. You can see that the cliffs also have slightly softer edges, and they're not as dark as the cliffs that are closer to us. So as I'm coming closer, I'm just using darker and more pigmented paint, and my edges are hard, so I'm painting wet on dry, as opposed to the first cliff that I painted wet on wet, because I wanted to kind of have soft edges and blend into the distance, especially because this painting is like a misty and foggy scene. So that's a lot more important to have soft edges for anything that is really far back into the distance. And as you can see right now, I'm using pure indigo to have really nice, dark, rich color for especially the bottom part of these cliffs. I'm also softening the bottom edges of this cliff, so by the time that I'm painting the last cliff that's closest to us, that area there's no harsh lines at the bottom part of the other cliff. Also, after painting my cliffs wet on dry, I use a clean damp brush to soften the top part of those cliffs and kind of blend them to the rest of the other cliffs that are farther back. And at the end, I'm just using my fine liner to add some outlines for some of the cliffs. As you can see, the results are very different from my mixed media painting. I noticed that the texture, the rough surface of my paper really affects how the colors look, just the vibrancy and saturation of the colors and how they blend together. So even though I try to use very similar techniques as I used for my mixed media painting, the results are very, very different. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comment section. And if you're interested to see my the full process of creating that mixed media painting, I have a Patreon page just mainly for my mixed media paintings. I'm going to put a link in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy painting!